Hey, what's up, y'all? This is Julie Harris, another episode of Julie Harris Presents. I got a very special guest, health coach. How do you pronounce it? Maraea?
Mm-hmm.
Tutson? Okay, got that.
Tutson.
Tutson. Okay, I almost made it through that part. Okay, we're gonna get to the meat of this whole episode. I want you to talk about what started you and what got you into being a health coach.
Yeah, so I'm gonna kind of start from the beginning.
Absolutely.
How what led up to it. So I was a teenage mom, high school dropout. I went on to become a direct care worker. I did that for a little while. And then I went on to become a CNA. I was a CNA for 12 years. Um, and after that, I decided to become a nurse. And so I've done all type of nursing. I worked in the prison system. I've worked in subacute. I've worked as an infection control nurse manager. Um, and I like to tell people when I was infection control nurse manager, there's some things that I've seen in this industry that I did not like. Um, and to shed light on that is basically I had to monitor all the diseases coming into the so with the workers and with the patients that was in the building, and I had to any outbreak I had to color coded. And so one year I was told to give everybody over 65 a certain flu pneumonia shot, and everybody under a certain flu pneumonia shot. And I started tracking and seeing people getting sick and dying from the very thing I was trying to protect them from.
Oh, wow.
Around that same time, my father got diagnosed with stage 4 cancer. And as a whole nurse, quote unquote, um, I couldn't do anything to save him at that point in time. So in my desperation, I fasted. I fasted for about a week. It went from water to chicken broth, bone broth, to like the lentil soup, all the way up into like salads and things like that. But anyways, I tell people during that fast, I woke up spiritually. I started seeing the world differently. And I just started searching on YouTube for holistic ways to heal my father. And so I ran across things like, herbs, right? Herbs are for the healing of the nations. I ran across things like breath work, meditation, speaking affirmations, and things of that nature. And just a side note, I also when I came across the Black Christian codes, which upset me even more. Um, but anyways, in my practice of me, waking up early in the morning and meditating, I just is the first time in my life, but I just started receiving downloads, like a lot of information, kind of like how people be like, I got abducted,
Wow.
or that's how it was happening. So um, I'll be woke uh I'll be woke up around maybe between like 3 and 5 in the morning. Um, I'll be, deep breathing and meditating. And I just remember I had to sleep with a pad of paper next to me because I was getting so much information was flooding in, flooding in, flooding in. It was like it was like I was just totally living in darkness for so long, and then that fast just allowed things to spring forth and break through. But but yeah, so fast forward to the pandemic. Um, I'm all on social media, right? Because I have a heart to serve, and I definitely want to see people whole. I believe that's why I went into nursing in the first place. But like a lot of others, I feel like it's a deception in going that route because yeah, it's basically putting a band-aid on the situation, and not it's the industry is not in to heal individuals, just treat the issue. But anyways, I'm all on social media dancing around working out, trying to encourage people to eat healthier because I'm seeing people are passing away and things like that. And so I'm doing my best to inspire people to make a change or whatnot. And so during that time, um, it's crazy. I was dealing with my own health issues. I didn't know it. I wasn't paying attention to it. But during that time, I became a Zumba. I got a Zumba certification. I got personal training certification. Yoga. I went through a yoga teacher training to teach people how to meditate and stretch their body and stuff because we hold a lot of past traumas, past energy in our tissues in our body. And so um it's very, very beneficial to stress the body and do deep breathing techniques and things like that. But yeah, so I went through those different trainings, and then I created a 6-week program dealing with the dealing with the whole person, right? Mind, body, spirit, soul, like everything. Because I found that I was even a hospice nurse, right? And so even in hospice, while I was a nurse, I was going through something in my own body. Like I have low iron, and the core of the reason is a lot has a lot to do with what a lot of us Black women go through as far as like with fibroids and things like that. I'm grateful that I only have like one that's 3 centimeters, and then one that's a little bit smaller. But um, it's it's like the lady in the Bible with the issue of blood type of thing. Our life force is being drained out of us each and every month. And this could be TMI for some people, but I just recently found out that our cycles are only supposed to be like 2 tablespoons, but there so many women out here are like suffering in silence and don't know the information. But anyway, so that was draining me, draining the iron out of my body. And if people don't understand this, like iron, um it's connected to oxygen in your body. And so if you don't have iron, you don't have enough oxygen to your organs, including your brain. So it causes confusion, if you will. So I do see a lot of women are dealing with confusion, and I really feel like it's hard on you men because y'all are protectors, right? And then you see like women are out here like floundering, and they probably don't even know what's going on with them, and most likely they're not paying attention to their health because I'm finding that even in the industry there's a codependency, right? I was laying in bed a couple weeks ago, and I was just scrolling on YouTube, and I came across this video about codependency and how to heal it with health and fitness, right? And so I'm listening to the video. I ended up putting my information in. The lady called me and did an intake, and she's like, um, she's telling me that I believe they're in either Florida or Georgia, but she was telling me there's a lot of people in the healthcare industry that are their clients that are dealing with codependency. A lot of women are just giving, giving, giving of themselves, but they don't take care of them. They don't take care of their own selves. They're steady giving to other people, trying to save the person that came to the nursing home, trying to, family members. And they just pour, pour, pour so much, and they neglect themselves. So I heard somebody say self-care is not selfish. And I'm starting to understand that more and more with what I'm going through. But that's just, I'm sorry, I kept going, but that's just like a part of my story. And now just pray with me on this. I am working to heal naturally because I do not desire to go under the knife. A lot of people that opt to do that because they haven't changed their eating habits and stuff like that, the fibroids end up growing back, right? And so that's not something that I want to happen. So with the health coaching, I want to, basically the objective is to deal with the whole person and give people something that they can, something they can do that's easy, right? We have I partnered with some other health coaches, and we have 2 supplements that we recommend to people. And even, I don't like to say this, but even if they didn't change their eating habits, it will still work to reverse diabetes, high cholesterol, all these different things. And it's just different programs to help with hormones and all that type of stuff. So um, yeah, that's that's pretty much what my journey's been so far. Um, with some other things, but yeah, but it definitely started with my father having stage 4 cancer. It woke me up, and a lot of people have to go. I don't want to say necessarily have to, but a lot of people go through traumatic events that change the trajectory of their lives, and that was um, what happened.
I can actually relate to that because maybe it was around the same time. I lost my mom the same way. I think I talked to your sister and she got a hold of you, in touch with you and everything. I mean, she had told me about it, what had happened and everything. And I definitely understand that. Being helpless or something like that, or somebody you truly care about. Yeah, I mean, that why wouldn't that bring out that in you? You know what I'm saying? But one gracious thing though, a lot of people other do things that harm themselves during those times. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, you you gotta appreciate things like that though. Things could have turned out way different. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But
Sorry, but
yeah, I mean, you'll never. It's nothing you'll ever get. I would say get used to. I mean, get over or anything like that. I mean, what I say is I would have to actually use that for something positive. Gain some positivity out of it instead
mm-hmm.
of self medicating and stuff like that. People do all types of things. You know,
Oh yeah.
um, um, that's actually awesome. I remember I was at one of your graduations. Oh, it was a
Mm-hmm.
long, long time ago. I think it was when my youngest daughter was just born or something like that. You were in the graduating class with her mom. So I remember that part. And then from then to now, the transformation, I can honestly say I'm proud of you.
Oh, thank you.
I mean,
Thank
everybody,
you. All glory to the Most High. Mm-hmm.
absolutely. And then that's testimony too. I mean, that's something that it can't be sneezed at. That's something to actually look forward to. When they say there's hopeless, that right there is hope. You know, and then just that. And I'm interested in stuff. I'll talk to you outside of this episode. The things that I'm interested in trying to do and things like that to better myself for certain things, certain issues and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
As far as females, what about the males about their health and things, their mental health and things like that in that manner? I mean, does it go the same way or?
Yes, yeah, I would say so. I believe when it comes to any individual, um, first and foremost, seek the Most High. Like I will tell you a story. It's not funny, but it's my testimony. I have a friend that was asked me to read a passage in the book of what I think it was the book of Kings. And I was just sitting there like, well, I know it was a spirit, right? That was like, oh, like I don't want to read whatever the case. Um, I really nice little on my face, like I didn't want to read it, and so um, the one after last believe, like dang, that was so bad. Um, and I also was young, but
It's fine. We had a little technical difficulties, but the devil is always moving when you gaining some knowledge and wisdom and understanding. You know what I'm saying?
yeah. Do you need to press record again, or is it still
I'm recording.
awesome? So anyways, like when I was younger, I said to myself, like, okay, like I was saying, I was going to church and stuff like that. I was going to Bible class and things, but I was telling myself, like, oh, I'll read the Bible one day, for myself. Like I'll read it one day. But when I connected with my friend, that's all I was given was the word. You know what I'm saying? And so ever since I have been diving in it for myself, there's a scripture that says, he's a rewarder of them that diligently seeks him. And so I remember when I first started like diving in for myself, I would read like maybe half of a chapter, and then I would go outside and I would meet somebody that said something or did something that led me to my next step. Just miracles was happening, like miracles that they talk about in church, like, you know, God gonna get, you know, all this other stuff. But these things was actually happening, um, and things like that. And so I would say, I would say that's a major piece. In addition to that, um, just fasting, right? But not fasting um, just to be like, I'm holier than thou or whatever the case may be, because I'm in Isaiah, and it talks about the true fast, and that's, you know, breaking the bonds of wickedness and lifting heavy burdens off of other people's lives. And so that's where I'm at right now. The Most High has got me moving out into the community more and more, and just touching people's lives and stuff like that. But that's not what I was doing at first. I was just sustaining from food and fasting, praying, and doing forgiveness prayers and meditation and stuff like that. I would say, you know, those are some major things. Like during the pandemic, a lot of us was able to sit with ourselves, but I will say when I do that, and when I was doing it then, Most High, He was revealing so much to me. Like He was revealing it to me, like who was for me, who wasn't. You know, there was I had people, I don't know if it's people or a person like that try to do witchcraft on me, like outside the home
What?
where I live. Yes, outside the home where I live, there was a wishbone, a feather, and a reptilian head in my bush. Yeah. So the spiritual world is definitely real, and people do try certain things, but they can't get to the blood, and they definitely can't get through the Holy Ghost. Um, yeah, I'm baptized in Jesus' name and filled with the Holy Ghost. So that's my protection as well. But yeah, that's the mental piece, and then just out, you know, try not to eat. Well, you know, when we get to this eating thing, it's a whole other thing. Yaki, I follow Yaki. I don't know if you know him or not, but he's really given a lot of information to our people in regards to food and stuff like that. And so I truly believe we're supposed to be on a fruit and vegetable diet and consuming herbs on a daily basis.
So
And
no,
staying, huh?
so no meat.
You know what? It's a process. It's a process, and when people talk about that, people automatically be like, "Oh, you ain't taking away my my beef ribs and stuff." You know, beef ribs is good. You ain't taking away my chicken and all that type of stuff, and that's why the coaches that I am affiliated with, we don't come from that aspect. We like, you know, you take it one step at a time, one thing at a time, just removing one thing at a time, whether it be that cup of coffee or the sugar, um the potatoes that's here in the United States, the white rice, you know, just taking it one day at a time. And like I was saying before, there's two supplements that we recommend, and even if the person didn't change their diet, like I was saying, they can still reverse what's going on in their body while they're working on eliminating things.
So it's a combination of everything: your diet, exercise, mental health, spiritual
Hmm.
health. All plays one role, right?
Yeah, yeah. So we work with the whole person, basically. It's a mindset piece in there too. I know in I have a program outside of what I coach when it comes to the other health coaches and stuff like that. I was just sharing it with someone in Detroit earlier today. But in the first week of my program, we're going to get the blood work done. We're getting your labs checked, seeing where your numbers are. Um, and what else? 10 minutes of meditation. I believe I have in there. Um, and I brought that up for a reason. You said something, and I just lost my train. Oh, the mindset piece. So we're looking at the subconscious and the conscious mind, how it play a role in what we experience in our day-to-day lives, because a lot of the traumas from our childhood is stored in our subconscious mind. And so just tapping into that through meditation and just kind of sitting with self and going back and feeling some things and doing what you have to do to overcome it. I heard somebody say before, if you don't feel it, you can't heal it. So, um, and it's what's interesting is just going back to my father having stage 4 cancer. During that, I was 33 years old. You know how they say like Christ died at 33 or whatnot. I believe it was a dying to the flesh.
Absolutely, I understand what you're saying.
Yeah, and just living every day thereafter in the spirit, because that's when my spiritual awakening happened. And I was just thinking riding down the street today, I'm like, well, the enemy really tried it because he attacked our wombs. He attacked the woman's womb. And so by the time we come to ourselves at 33, the damage is already done, right? And I know it stems from disobedience, everybody born into sin, but it's like by the time you wake up spiritually and see the damage that you did do, it's like, dog, you know. Um, so then you have a choice, right? Am I going to continue on with the same habits and stuff like that, or am I going to, go through the process of, shedding some things uh, throughout the journey or whatnot? So, um, yeah, I desire. I'm being careful with my words, but I desire to be made whole completely. I don't, I don't want to be dealing with any infirmities and stuff like that in my body. So, one of the ladies, she introduced me to a woman that's on YouTube, and she helps women heal naturally and things like that. And so she talks about the spiritual aspect of healing. Like, are you forgiving people, right? Do you forgive those people that you feel like mistreated you? Because you probably mistreated some folks too. You need to forgive yourself as well. And then when it comes to like the different traumas, I was talking to somebody today, and I was telling her, like even with when it comes to the womb, like when you're having intercourse with people, you could be with a dude that's a narcissist, right? And whatever area that he is weak in spiritually, the enemy can use him. Like even when it comes to like the mad black woman, like the enemy knows if he can get us to react emotionally to something, he got us in his lower vibrational frequency, right? Focused on the negative. And so I I was I was talking to her, I was like, because I feel like it have a correlation with the like when they talked about the angels came down and wanted to have relations with the the daughters of men or whatnot.
And
And I'm
that
like,
is it true? I mean, not to get off hand or anything, but that kind of they said that produced Nephilim giants.
I've heard that before. I've heard that before, but I'm also just like, I was like, if there's an individual that's not don't know who he is spiritually or she, and they have all this negative energy inside of them, and they're having this relations, it's like all that negative energy is coming into the womb, right? And I said that to say I was sitting with some women, and one of the women had pulled out her phone, and she was showing like, the fibroid that was surgically removed. It had hair and teeth.
I've heard that too.
Ain't that something?
Yeah, I've heard that too. It was actually a song I was listening to. It was a little poetry part in there where I mean, it's like like I say something like it's bigger than what we all realize what everything is, honestly. But I say that to say this: Were you were you shocked? Were you when you got done fasting? Were you shocked or were you startled of what you started seeing, or was it like a peacefulness? Were you at peace with where you were or anything?
So when I woke up spiritually, I felt like I can fly. I felt a sense of peace. I felt like um I didn't have any fear. I felt like I could do anything, and um yeah, and so but I was out here literally like Little Red Riding Hood because I didn't have no armor on. I didn't have the armor of God. Like I knew what I knew from church and stuff, but I was naive. I have wisdom in a lot of things. Like I just didn't. I like in business I was being taken advantage of. Cause I'm like me growing up, I'm like everybody's nice. I'm thinking like everybody got a good heart, you know
Oh,
what I'm
no,
saying?
no, it's just you.
And I'm like, and some of the stuff that was happening to me, I'm thinking to myself, like, what, just naive, like, why would anybody want to do that? Like, why would you, you know what I'm saying? Like, I was talking to a woman today, and I was telling when I first had started the home care company, that I had a CPA that was trying to charge me like $2,000 a month. And now that I know like how much they truly cost, I'm looking like, wow, okay. But a lot of people try to get over me when it comes to business and stuff like that. And I do understand the spiritual too. Like even the process of building a business, it's personal growth, but it's spiritual growth too. And it's definitely ups and downs and lessons that you have to learn. And right now it's like Most High, I'm grateful that He showed me how He operates and how He orchestrates things when we yield to Him. But it's definitely challenging because coming out of that quote unquote independent state of mind, like or trying to do stuff on your own without the help of God, um, is a lot of people, be feeling like I got to do this, I got to do that type of thing. But truly, when you begin to yield, He just opened up doors and he orchestrate things. And like I said, you just walk out the door and you meet somebody that's leading you to your next step. It's like the yellow brick road, like cookie crumbs being dropped. It's
Just
like,
following them. Gotcha.
yeah. And I believe like when we think clear, like when we detox with herbs and different things like that, detox and stuff like that, we can think clearer and we can hear from Him clear because it's like a still small voice, for sure. I used to be like, well, when people used to be in church, be like, God told me this and God told me that. I was like, listen, God ain't talking. But I know better than that now because in my early morning meditations, I remember this one day and is this in my same voice, and he was joking around with me, and he basically like, girl, now come on now, like they're not. And I'm like, yeah, you did. So it's like so it's my voice with a conversation with me, like Him in me. So, but it's beautiful, and I cherish those moments with the Most High.
Absolutely. And then another question, though, how do you properly meditate?
There's just different types. I how I started off meditating is just just basically just sitting there, deep breathing, um, and just being still and letting stuff just come in. Um, there's a technique that people can use. Is basically you breathe in for 4, you hold for 4, and you release. I start off, people and just kind of, and then after that, breathe normally and just let the thoughts come in, even if they're, so sometimes some of those old thoughts, that past trauma will rise up when you're
And
sitting with yourself. He
that's
said, be
why
still.
that's exactly why I asked, bro.
Yeah. He says, you know, the word says, "Be still and know that I am." Going back to the dying of the flesh and stuff like that, and then the resurrection and all this other stuff. It's like, and the rapture, right? What people say, you know, in regards to the rapture, like, based on my understanding at this point in time, I feel like the ascension happens within, and people be like, oh, you know, when you die, I believe it's dying to the flesh, but when you die, oh, everything you ever did gonna come up. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, it's gonna flash before you. And this is how it was happening with me in meditation. And that's why I'm like, and God was showing me stuff too, like, watch out for this one, watch out for this one. And not necessarily, so let me clear that up. Not looking at the person like pointing of the finger type of thing, but the spirit that resides in them, right? And pray in regards to that. But anyways, the sitting with self, those things will come up, and then there will be tears, obviously, but that's where the breath work comes in, and you're kind of able to transmute that energy and release. And if it's somebody that trespass against you, or you know, in case of like rape or anything like that, you can call a person's name out and forgive them. Then also forgive yourself of, you know, for, I don't want to say, I gotta be careful with my words. Yeah, just self-forgiveness as well, for sure.
That's major. I mean, everything right here is a blueprint for us being better as a whole. I feel. You know, what do you think about the each one teach one process? Have you heard that before? I would love to hear your
Somebody
insight
said
on that.
no. Somebody said no candle loses its flame by lighting another. Um,
I like that.
yeah, so it's not my core.
No, man. Yeah, I mean, I
but
understand, but yeah, I like it's cool.
but yeah, I I've been getting visions for years of, like, Most High gave me a vision when I first started meditating. He gave me a vision. I had started a hair extension company, and he gave me a vision that I was going to be traveling from school to school, telling my story as a teenage mom, a high school dropout, to young ladies. Um, and yeah, just to be able to give back and teach them what, you know, some things, so they don't necessarily have to go through what I went through, and they can learn some stuff a little bit earlier. That's what the meeting in Detroit earlier was about putting some stuff in the young ladies, um, in regards to the health coaching. So when they go into whatever industry they decide to go into, they're equipped. Um, yeah. So I believe we should start with the youth. I mean, women my age, a lot of us, I mean, we still can be reached and stuff like that, but a lot of us are stuck in our ways, so it takes a little bit longer. But I believe the Most High wants everybody to be healed. In meditation, one time, he told me that he was healing his daughters and getting them ready to take on the generational wealth transfer that's happening right now. So, and that just ties into some other things, but the
That's
end of the one,
crazy. That's a whole
yeah,
nother story in itself, though, as well. Creating
yeah,
generational wealth and things like that, things that we're not aware of.
yeah. I believe the enemy wants us to focus on lack with the television and stuff like that. He wants to focus on lack and things like that. But the Most High promised us abundance, and I believe once we continue to tap into that energy, and tap into Him, He reveals these things, and so it puts us in position to receive. Yeah.
But you also, I feel like you have to be able to even recognize it and see it. There's a
Yeah,
process before that process, correct?
yeah, and I believe it's starting with the word. It started, and then also in combination, getting that blood work done, and just detoxing, so you can so you can think clear, um, and things of that nature, like really fat. I mean, I would recommend fasting after 8 and continue that until like 12 noon. Um, and we have things that help people with that process. But um, when our body's just full of toxins and all that type of stuff, it changes how we think about stuff. Even what I notice with myself, if I'm consuming a lot of bread and white rice and pasta, it's making me depressed.
Wow.
You know,
Is that considered like starchy or whatever?
yeah, and it breaks down into sugar,
Gotcha.
and it messes with your hormones, and so your hormones has a lot to do with how you act and feel. And so a lot of times when people, that's why I'm like, it's big with the healthcare and home care and stuff like that, because a lot of times if people not taking care of themselves, they out eating a whole bunch of fast food and junk. They might, and then they might get it because they vibrating at a different frequency and stuff like that, because they stressed out or whatever. They might go in and be mean to the residents. Like, take that.
No, no,
taking it
that's a
out
good
on them.
point. That's a good point. It happens.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, it's just I just truly believe he's wanted to heal us. It's time. It's time. There's a shift that's happening, and we can't remain in that low vibrational negative energy. We have to ascend. We have to rise, and just relieve that hurt and that pain and that trauma. Forgive people, because at the end of the day, we are born into sin, and we need forgiveness too. And so I think those are some major things to be able to move forward. And yeah.
Okay, this short time has been very impactful. But what I do have to do is any way people can reach you, like social media or anything like that. Please tell people where to follow you, where to reach you at, and make it clear. Say it twice if you have to, because I feel like people need to understand it. This is the layman's terms of stuff. Like this is like more hands-on of learning about certain things. I feel.
For sure, for sure. So I am on social media as Maraea Tutson, Maraea, last name Tutson. The links that I have on there right now is is the home care links and stuff like that. So I'm definitely going to add a link for the health coaching aspect. We do have, you can also inbox me. I'm pretty open, genuine person. So follow me on uh, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. You can inbox me and I'll connect with you there. Send you some links if you're interested in the health coaching aspect. But yeah, so
Also, could you send me a link to the guy you were talking about with the diet, as far as what to eat, what we should be eating?
absolutely.
All right. Thank you. This episode was a blessing. I needed this. This usually I do my podcast as a stress relief and everything, but this is multiplied times 10. You know, um, we've been back and forth and everything. I'm glad we can finally get it done, and
Absolutely.
hopefully this isn't the last time. Hopefully I can find more like-minded people who are the same. We can do something on a grander scale. But
Absolutely.
this was amazing. I'm gonna call this one a wrap. It's in the books. I'm gonna send it to you. You share it, send it to other people. Because I think it's a message in there that everybody needs to hear it. Everybody can gain something from it. So with that being said, it's been real. It's been real fun too. Great having you on. Thank you. And till
Thank
next
you.
time.
Ashay.
All right.
Bye.
Bye.